It's great to be here with you for another midweek message, another chance for us to have a moment to chat. I love talking with you all last week. I got great feedback over the past couple weeks, and please like these, share these, comment on them, go nuts, have conversation, because I believe this is now the time more than ever for us to be encouraging, for us to be uplifting, for us to be sending out positive vibes in the world, especially when you have the love of Christ in you that can radiate out of you. If you haven't heard the news, which I think you probably have, especially if you live in Pennsylvania, that life is changing once again. And they've asked for all of us to wear our masks and to put those on indoors and outdoors. So last week when I could sit in a coffee shop and have a conversation with you, today I asked the question, where should I go? Where should I be? And I decided to come back to my Bat Cave. My Bat Cave is here at Bike and Soul. It's one of the places that I go to when I want to relax, when I want to rest. Also, if I want to engage people in a fun way, in a different way. One of my Bat Caves is the bike shop. I'm sitting here today because I want to share with you a psalm that hit me this morning at breakfast. I stumbled upon it. I shared it on my Facebook page, Psalm 121. There was an acoustic version that was done by James Sala, and I'll add it. I'll add a link to it down below in the comment section. But I wanted to share 121 with you because I stumbled upon it this morning in my moment, and I just started to soak in it. I started to be in it, and I started to ask these deeper questions. But it says, I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? Now, we know this verse. We've heard it before. We've sung it before. We've recited it before. We've studied it before. This is something that you've heard over and over. My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. I had over 20 people in my space this past week that are quarantining. I've got a couple people that I know that have COVID right now. I sat there this morning by myself in the coffee shop, eating breakfast, sipping coffee, and going, what is going on? And I looked on YouTube and I was looking for songs and things to uplift me and just have a moment with the Lord. And this 121 song came across, and I started to say, is my shelter in the Lord? Where is my help coming from? And church, I share this with you because I don't know where you're at. I'm not sure, like if you're watching this right now, you might be a leader and be trying to figure out next steps. You might be someone that's looking to leaders and listening and trying to figure things out. We're all listening, trying to figure things out. What's right, what's wrong, what's truth, what's not. And should I be afraid, not afraid, all these things. But here's the thing. We need to be taking a step back and focusing on what's important. Recently, this past weekend, we had a parts festival here at the shop. It was just something simple, people. It was like a flea market. People could mill around, pick up parts and so forth. And it was a wonderful time to engage and meet people. Folks from Philadelphia came up, out of Allentown came down. And I got to have these moments of talking, and it had nothing to do with COVID. We talked about bicycles here at my Bat Cave. We got to talk about bicycles. We talked about all these fun things, and it was a blast. There was smiles in the eyes as you couldn't see them through the mask, of course. But we had these times of just celebrating this concept of a bicycle. And I've been thinking more and more and reflecting more and more on Saturday and how it's in these common strains of humanity that we can find joy. You know, God's the maker of heaven and earth. And I wonder sometimes if we've been spending a lot of time consuming and not enough time celebrating in the creation of things around us and the things that we enjoy, the hobbies that we do. For me, I'm a maker. I love building things. I love making things. I love putting things together. And I find a lot of joy in expressing myself in creation of things. Where do you express yourself? What's your back cave? Where are you finding help from the Lord? See, what I notice is that I can sit here and say, yes, the Lord is my help. And where does he come from? Where does it come from, right? But for me, just to sit quietly all day long, it doesn't work for me. I need to do things. I need to be active at times. And see, resting in the Lord is good, but we can't just hide there. You know, there's life outside. And you know, as the scripture says, the Lord watches over me. He's with me. I know he's with me. He's put beautiful people around me to love and care about me. He's given me an awesome family in my relatives as well as in those that I know in the Lord. And all of a sudden this morning I started realizing that it's in my back cave, this place that God's given me, this place that I can go, that I find shelter in this blessing. And I see him through bicycles. Where are you at? What are you doing that brings you life in the day? See, when we sit and rest, we've got to be resting for something. So where is your back cave? Where do you go that gets you motivated to move out? Because you know what I mean? When Batman went to the Batcave, and if you're not a comic book fan, I'm sorry, you should be. No, but seriously, Batman had this cave that he went to that he tinkered, and him and his friends would go in there, and they'd come up with these creations of these works so they could go out and do good things. Be a superhero. Well, what's your Batcave? You know, when you find rest in the Lord, if you stay just in the Lord, in your fortress of solitude, if you're a Superman guy, in your Batcave, if you're a Batman guy, you know, or gal, or depending on who your favorite superhero is, they all have their little headquarters, right? If you just stay in your headquarters, and that's all you do, well, you're not much of a superhero. And see, God watches over us, and he protects us, and he engages with us, but it doesn't mean that life's going to be fine all the time. No, because when Batman went out and did things, he had to battle evil in the world. Now, I'm not asking that you go be a vigilante. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this. Are you resting to go be? God's made you with unique gifts and things that you love to do. And by the way, if you don't know in your mind what you're good at or where you should be going, come talk to me. My name's Scott, and I got a plan for you. That's what my friends always joke about. Never tell me you're bored. Never tell me that you don't know what to do, because I can always find something for you to do in life. I love helping people go and be all they can be with God. But seriously though, what is it that drives you, that motivates you, that you love to do? Because when you go and find rest and then you go out and do those things and you give that space to God, when you say, God, I love doing this, so this is yours. Wow. Stuff will happen. Church, yesterday I was so over all this. My staff that was around me, they were like, oh man, we were feeling it, right? And we were feeling all this stuff. But when I found my shelter in the Lord, when I got back on that horse and started to ride, when I came to my back cave and started counting my blessings, having my attitude of gratitude, starting to think these things out, boom! Started to get it. I didn't even want to do this message today. Wasn't feeling it. But wow, when you just start slowly working and finding your shelter, you can start to get excited. So church, today, go and do. Go be who you are. Do something. Engage it. Yes, we can mourn. We can feel what's going on, but find our shelter in the Lord. And if you're watching this right now and you're on quarantine, these are great times to make plans, maybe to take up a nice new hobby, hit Amazon up, send something in. You know yourself best. Also, it might be a great time to send some cards and take some notes and write some thank you to people. But here's the deal. No matter where you're at in life right now, go. Rest up and go. Engage the world a little somehow. Because the Lord is where you find your rest, but you're resting to go and be amazing.